Today I'm cooking with Mom at Mom's Kitchen, and we're making Lebanese omelets. In Arabic we call this aja. They look like little mini frittatas. So to start with, Mom chopped some asparagus. We're going to do two different flavored ajas, one with asparagus and one with a ton of parsley. So we're using a food processor and we're trying to finely chop the leaves of, this is curly parsley, but you could also use Italian flat leaf parsley, and you need a lot of parsley. This is about 3 bunches of parsley. Now I'm going to cut one large white onion, but I'm only using half, so half of a large or a full medium onion, and you can use either white or brown. And I learned a little trick. If I leave the end on one side and I just kind of peel the skin back, it's a lot easier to control all the layers of the onion without it falling apart. So I'm going to leave that end on, and I'm just going to slice across, and then I'm going to slice from the top, and then I'm going to chop across, and it makes chopping an onion much easier. But the trick is, for this recipe, you need the onion pieces to be super duper tiny. So you want them finely chopped. So get in there and finely chop half of a very large onion. We need to add scallions also, so we want to finely chop green onions or scallions, and I have about a dozen of them here that I'm going to chop finely. So first step is get rid of the ugly tentacle-y parts, and then you want to thinly slice across, and then you want to roll your knife back and forth a few more times to make sure that they are chopped really tiny. And because this dish is sort of messy because we're using oil and a stove, if you're going to do it, you might as well make a lot. So we're actually going to crack 2 dozen eggs. So we've got 24 eggs eventually that are going to be cracked in a bowl and whisked well before we start adding in our vegetables and seasonings. Now we can add in our finely chopped scallion and onion, and we're also going to grate a couple garlic cloves. You could finely mince this, or you could use a microplane grater. You have to season this mixture, so we're putting in some sea salt, and we're also going to add in some freshly ground black pepper. We use allspice a lot in Lebanese cooking, so we're going to add some allspice to that, and we're going to put in a lot of dried mint. And when you buy mint, or when you dry it yourself, the leaves are usually large in the jar, and it's really important that you crush them between your hands and your palms so that you get a nice fine, like a powder. You don't want to see the big dried leaves of mint. Mix this up really well, and now we want to add that egg mixture into one bowl that's got the chopped asparagus. So we're going to make 2 different flavors, one that's got asparagus with a little bit of parsley, and the other one that's just got a ton of parsley, because that's how my mother does it. That's the traditional way to make aja. It's got a lot of parsley. In this larger bowl, she's mixing the parsley with the egg, and you can see that it looks like there's very little egg and mostly parsley, and that's exactly the consistency or quantity that you're looking for in a traditional aja. When you're ready to cook your aja, you want to heat over medium-high heat a mixture of canola and olive oil, and you use both because olive oil has a very low smoking point. And if you just use straight up olive oil, it's going to burn faster, so we don't want that. So we mix it, but we want the flavor of olive oil, so that's why we do half and half. And my mom is using this aja pan that she's had in her family. It's probably over 100 years old. It came from the old country. I don't know where to find them here. You probably have to go to a specialty Middle Eastern store, or maybe look on the internet. But anyway, once the oil is hot, you want to start scooping in that mixture, that egg mixture. And this first batch that we're doing is the one with the asparagus. So it's just the asparagus, the allspice, the mint, the onions, the garlic, and a little bit of parsley. And once these are foaming and start to brown on the bottom, you want to use 2 spoons and flip them to the other side. And you know they're done on the other side when they look nice and brown like this side. A plate or a pan ready with paper towels so they can absorb some of the oil from your aja. You want to store these between sheets of paper towels in a container in the fridge. They last 2 to 3 days. They're still fine. We like to eat them at room temperature in a sandwich with some pita bread, sliced tomatoes, a little lettuce. This is a wonderfully healthy and delicious meal. For this recipe and more, visit myclasscancook.com.